Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going over kind of like a Soulshield progression guide. This is for more like newer players, I would say, but basically we're just going to be going over what Soulshields you want to be getting and which ones you want to keep looking forward to getting and just progressing with your Soulshields. So basically you hit level 50 and you probably have the Soulshields that they give you. I think they call it Ancestral Soulshields, I believe, if you're a newer player. If you're an older player, you probably have Yeti Soulshields, which are fine too. So basically, after that, what you want to go for is the Asura Soulshields. And the reason why is they actually give a pretty good power boost, and they're probably the best ones you can get when you have a lower AP, aka like gear. So what they do is for 3 sets, like for 3 Soulshields equipped, you get increase your attack power by 5. If you have 5 equipped, it increases your critical damage, and if you have all 8 equipped, it increases your HP and your piercing. So basically, these are just a really solid set to go for. Especially the increasing of your attack power and your critical damage is very strong for Soulshields that are pretty easy to get, considering the dungeon is not very hard anymore. So if you're a lower like geared player, this is something you really want to go for, just because, as I said, they're very easy to get and they're actually pretty damn strong. So I would recommend going for these as soon as you can. Try to run this dungeon whenever you can. It's also a lot of gold to do it. It's like, I believe, like 4 or 5 gold to run the dungeon for daily rewards. So it's actually really beneficial to just run it every day. I still run it every day just because it's a lot of gold, so I just do it anyways, even though I don't really need to. And most people do. So really recommend going for these when you can. Make sure, of course, you get the critical ones. You know, anything other than critical is not a good Soulshield. You want to get critical. But yeah, these are really strong, and I really recommend going for them. So after that, when you have these fully equipped, basically what you want to try to go for is Desolate Tomb Soulshields and Ebendrate Citadel Soulshields. And these are like some of the best Soulshields you can get in the game next to the legendary ones. So basically what you want to go for is 3 Oblivion Soulshields, so you get the set effect, and then 5 Ebendrate Soulshields, so you get the 3 set effect and the 5 set effect. So basically when you have 3 Oblivion Soulshields, you increase your critical damage by 7%, which is really good. And then when you have 5 Ebendrate Soulshields equipped, you also increase your attack power by 7 and your critical damage by 12%. So when you have 5 of these equipped and 3 of the Oblivion equipped, you get a total of 19% more critical damage, and you get 7 more attack power. So this is a really strong set to have. Definitely want to farm for these when you can. They also nerfed Ebendrate Citadel and Desolate Tomb, so running these in normal mode is actually pretty easy, I would say. So, you know, even if you're not really high geared or anything, you definitely can find a normal party and run this dungeon and complete it. It's not that hard to do nowadays. So, you know, you don't have to be super geared. Just make sure you're doing normal mode, because hard mode is still kind of hard, as you know, it's called hard mode. And you kind of still have to know the mechanics for hard mode. Well, normal mode, the HP is way lower on the bosses, and you kind of don't have to worry about the mechanics that much. So definitely run normal mode, but try to get a 5-piece critical Soulshield of Ebendrate, so you get those set effects, and then try to get the 3 set of the Oblivion Soulshield, so you get that set effect. So you have these, and you should be pretty high geared now. You should have pretty decent gear, good Soulshields. What do you do next? Well, the next thing you want to go for is the Midnight Skypetal Plains Soulshields. So these are legendary Soulshields, and these are some of the best Soulshields you can get in the game. And the reason why is because their set effects are so strong. Basically, their set effects reduce the cooldown of your abilities. They increase more damage of your abilities and everything like that. And they're just very strong for all the classes. Like, for example, for Blade Dancer, an 8 set effect increases my Stormcleave damage by 100% and reduces the cooldown by 50%, which is really strong. As you can see, the cooldown is really low on it, only 18 seconds, and a lot more damage it gives. Along with that, if you have a 5 set equipped, you increase your attack power by 10, your critical damage by 15%, and your HP. So the legendary Soulshields for Midnight Skypetal Plains is very good to get. Once you have these, you're really solid in the game. These are kind of like the ones you want to be looking for. These are more, I would say, endgame Soulshields for sure. But luckily, these are actually not that hard to get. just run Midnight Sky Petal Plains whenever you can. It's a very easy raid now, especially since I do believe they nerfed the raid boss a little bit. But either way, it's just a very easy raid now, and you can always usually find a party, especially with the server merges that are happening soon. You'll always find a party for sure. But also, what I would do is a lot of times it's in the daily challenge, and I would take advantage of that because in the daily challenge, when the quest is in the daily challenge, parties for that raid is always happening, and those are the days, I believe it's in the daily challenge like 2 times a week. Those are the days you want to be farming that raid like all day, because it'll be so easy to farm parties and you can keep rerunning it. Where other days throughout the week you still can find parties, but it's a little bit harder, especially at certain times. So I really recommend trying to take advantage of the daily challenge, and when it's in there, make sure to run it a lot. But basically, when you run the raid, you get Lunar Twilight Flowers, and you can basically exchange those for the Soul Shields. For example, you need like 10 for the, I mean not 10, 8 for the first one, 10 for the second chest, and so on. And basically, yeah, it's just all you have to do. So, just to recap, get your soul shields from Sodium Laminate. Then try to get your Oblivion Soul Shield, 3 of them, and 5 of the Immigrate. And then try to go for your Midnight Sky Petal Playing Legendary Soul Shields. These are really boost your powers. After that, you can always try to get the Black Tower Raid Legendary Soul Shields. But these are pretty hard to get because you usually have to run the raid. And sometimes they're actually not super useful. Like, for example, right now my Legendary Soul Shield set is really strong that I don't really have to go for this unless I'm trying to like be super endgame. Like, I don't have to go for it, so it's not super needed. As long as you get the Midnight Sky Petal Plains ones, you should be pretty fully geared and pretty good for a while. So I wouldn't really worry about these, especially because the raid is really hard to do and you have to have really high AP. So a lot of times you won't ever really get to do the raid for a long time. So don't really worry about the Black Tower Soul Shields. Not really needed. But definitely try to get the Midnight Sky Petal Plains ones. Very easy raid to do now, and I really recommend doing it. So that's about it for this video. Let me know if you guys have any questions about Soul Shields. Very important for the game, so hopefully this guide can help do which ones you want to get and which ones you want to focus on farming for. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video real soon. Thank you.